Hello, my name is Dana. These are my Catholic memoirs. Today is the commemoration of Our Lady of Ransom on September 24th. All the angels and saints, please pray for us. I just wanted to give a quick life update because things have been really hectic and I unfortunately haven't been able to keep up with even posting one video a week. So I'm doing my best, but it seems like God has different plans for me because I had just gotten off the call for Mary's Heart Martha's Order challenge with Catholic Mom.com, and Sterling had mentioned something that really spoke to me, and she said that God's plans are always better than ours, even when we have our own plans. So that gave me a lot of peace and grace, having that to think about and contemplate on. So now when I feel like my plans are going out the window, I can just think of God's plans being better than mine, and that honestly just like makes things so much better for me. So thank you, Sterling, for that. As far as life updates, let's see. My 2-year-old has started a really late night sleep regression. So I've been losing a lot of sleep because he doesn't want to sleep until like 10 or 11 p.m. And my husband and I just spend all of our time playing with him, feeding him, trying to convince him to go take a shower, brush his teeth. So that has been fun and interesting. It's just funny. I think a lot of it might just be God's way of telling me that I'm working too much and that I need to spend more time with the kids, because I have been struggling with work because we're getting really tight deadlines towards the end of the month and also in the middle of October, because I'm going to be trying to ship something in time for a big conference that we have in November that our company is hosting. So that has been a little bit on my mind too much lately, giving me a lot of anxiety, and I've just lots of worry. So I think he's just starting to tell me, hey, your kid's here. Now he's having a sleep regression, spend time with him. And my husband and I really always want to spend time with the kids whenever they're awake. So we're doing our best, but it's been taking a lot of energy, and because he's not sleeping as he usually would be around 8 p.m., we don't have as much time to do errands or chores and just any extra things at night. So it is what it is, and the good thing about sleep regressions is they get better eventually. The other thing that we have on our plate is that our oldest son is now in TK, but we had a talk with the teacher where they recommended getting him evaluated. So I had to actually grieve over this last week because this is something that's new to my husband and my family, in the sense that none of us have been formally diagnosed with neurodivergence. So going through this process is completely new to us. And I did grieve, possibly because sometimes I read that sometimes people can, when things like this happen, they'll grieve the child that they thought that they wanted. So it's like, yeah, this is completely new to me. And it's been a huge struggle for my husband and I. But I've gotten lots of messages from other people. Like, ran into someone from church. Their family has 5 boys, I think 5 or 6 boys. And I was just telling the dad how we're struggling, and he said, and he gave me something that I needed to hear, and he said, that's how God made him. And I thought that was really beautiful. So yeah, I did spend some time grieving, and even when I had spiritual direction with my spiritual director last week, I told him that I think I fell into despair over it. And he first paused and talked to me with so much compassion and love and said that to not despair, because despair has no hope. And that is the difference between, and that's what he told me was the difference between sorrow and despair. because he wanted me to reflect on Our Lady of Sorrows. That was the penance he gave me for confession with him during my spiritual direction meeting, was to pray the chaplet or the rosary of Our Lady of Sorrows. And he wanted me to reflect on her sorrows by uniting with her pain. But in the end, like the difference between sorrow and despair is that sorrow has hope tied to it. There's always hope to look forward to after sorrow. So I thought that was a beautiful meeting I had with my spiritual director. But unfortunately, he's going to be busy until November, so I'm not going to have him to lean on throughout the rest of September and October. So we'll see how that goes. I was hoping to have spiritual direction every month, but even the head monk was advising maybe every other month instead. So I will go with that. And the other funny thing that my spiritual director told me as I was leaving was that he noticed that we didn't get a chance to talk about YouTube videos, because I told him that I wanted to be under his authority to be able to make these videos. And he just mentioned, since it is the month of Our Lady of Sorrows, it might be good to make every month a video on the devotion. So this month would be Our Lady of Sorrows, and next month would be the Holy Rosary, Our Lady of the Rosary. So I'm taking that as God's ask of me. So I will do my best to make videos on that. I think I have some ideas. Like the first one would be doing the Rosary of Our Lady of Sorrows, and then another video on how Our Lady of Sorrows has presented her life to me. So that was that in terms of grieving, sorrow, and despair, and then my spiritual direction. And lastly, my husband is going through OCIA. He started last week, so this week was his second meeting for OCIA, and it's been amazing. He's enjoying it. He's having amazing conversations with his teacher, and he comes back home to have discussions and tell me about the topics that they talked about, and it's very beautiful to see him talk about it, because I can see that he has a love for it, and there's a light and a spark that's growing. So I'm really happy that he's enjoying OCIA. It's actually I'm so happy that it's bringing tears to my eyes. But yes, he's reading out of this book, and a lot of times they're just going in and having discussions based on a topic that they're covering for every week. So I'm hoping that things go well, and that he'll be received well into the church. So I'm very happy, especially after we've been married for 6 years, and when COVID hit right after, we got married in 2019. COVID hit right after we had our babies, and didn't think about having him go through RCIA at the time, which is now OCIA. So it's funny now, because it's not funny, but it's interesting, because it just seems like God's plan really is always better than ours. Because the most interesting thing is that next year he will be, depending on how the timing is, but usually RCIA or OCIA enters the church on the vigil of Easter. But the craziest thing is that Easter next year is going to be my birthday. So his first Easter Mass will be on my birthday. So I think it's just really beautiful, and really truly God's plan is better than what we could ever imagine. So I think that's it for now. This is a quick life update. Please pray for me, because I will be going through a difficult time and doing my best to manage it all. And I'll be praying for you. If you're on the Mary's Heart, Martha's Order challenge on Catholic Mom Calm, you'll be seeing me posting. Until next time, take care and have a blessed day.